Hello and welcome to Sestra-Tainment.
Sestra-Tainment.
I'm Lenora.
And I'm Dee.
And we are coming to you today about everything entertainment. And so this week I'm going to go ahead and get started. And I have a show that I don't know if anybody even watches. I came across this by looking at the Today Show, and the two actors happened to be on there talking about the second season, which made me think to myself, I never knew there was a first season. And had I known, I don't know if I would have checked it out. But I was intrigued.
Okay.
So therefore I did, and it's called Schimg-a-doon.
Schimg-a-doon, I didn't watch it because it was a musical. Yeah, I knew about Schimg-a-doon. I was like, oh my God, I love it. And then I was like, oh, no I don't like it.
You wouldn't love it. It is 500,000 songs.
That's why I couldn't watch it. I was like, what? You like with the cast? I was like, oh yeah. Nah, it's a musical, bro. I can't do it.
I fast forwarded through some of the musical numbers. Like, it was a bit much for me. But overall, I do enjoy the show.
Okay.
So it has as the main character Cecily Strong, who has been on Saturday Night Live.
Yes, I love her.
Great actress. You have Keegan-Michael Key, and he is, from Key and Peele and different things like that. I mean, everybody knows who he is. And so Cecily plays Melissa, and Keegan plays Josh. And then they have all of these other cast of characters. The main ones that you'll probably know are Alan Cumming. He plays the mayor of Schimg-a-doon.
Okay.
You have Ariana DeBose, who
I love her.
Yeah, has been in a lot of things recently, and she's great in here.
Because Angela Bassett did the thing.
What thing did
you don't know that? She sang that at the.
She sang what?
Angela Bassett did the thing. You didn't know that?
I have never heard of Angela Bassett did the thing.
Yeah. Well, okay. I'm gonna have to show it to you.
Okay. Later. Yeah. Okay. Y'all have to Google it too, because I'm sure.
No, I think everybody.
Oh, so everybody but me knows.
Yeah.
So you're saying that I'm just not hip and I'm like out of the.
First of all, you said hip. So. Then no, you are not.
I'm not hip because I'm
you
not,
said hip.
Touche. Okay, going back to this. You have Kristen Chenoweth in here. And you have, who else is it? Oh, and you have, I've seen this guy in a lot of different things, never knew his name, but it's Aaron Tveit. So anyway, Martin Short is in there as a leprechaun.
Oh, of course.
You have Jane Krakowski. She plays a countess. And Fred Armisen, he plays a reverend. So those are kind of the main characters that you would see in season 1, at least. The season 2 comes out on April 5th. So, and from the previews, it looks like Schimg-a-doon flips itself upside down. So I'll explain a little bit. So with Schimg-a-doon in their first season, to me, it was kind of a weird show because what starts off is that Cecily's character and Keegan's character, they play Melissa and Josh, right? And so they basically are a couple that starts off, they meet at work, they work at a hospital, both of them are doctors, they meet at a vending machine because it's malfunctioning. Like, she put her money in, nothing falls. He tells her, my trick is to kick it. She kicks it. Every single item in the machine falls out, comes out of the vending machine. So based on that, it just moves really quickly and shows, okay, this is them starting to date, this is them going out, this is them doing this. Oh, now they're in a 3-year relationship, not married, but just dating for 3 years. And you see just everything falling apart. They're not really as close as they were. They need to rekindle the relationship. He seems a little selfish. She seems probably a little needy if you look at it from each other's perspectives. And so therefore, they decide to go on a couples retreat. So as they're on the retreat, they actually are in the forest. They're supposed to be like a camping retreat. And in the process of doing that, they stumble upon Schimg-a-doon. And so the way that it works is that they walk over a bridge, and when they get to the other side of the bridge, the sun is shining, everything's beautiful because during the camping trip, everything was rainy and nasty and whatever. So they walk across this cloudy bridge, and on the other side of the bridge, it's a beautiful, colorful place called Schimg-a-doon. So they come down the bottom of the bridge, and it is a full-blown musical. There's singing, there's dancing. It's from the 1940s. So it's Jimmy Crack Corn and I Don't Care. All those kind of songs. Not those songs. Exactly.
Yeah, but it's that kind of.
They literally have a song about corn pudding. Like, that is what the song is about, corn pudding. Okay. And it's like,
I'm glad I didn't watch
love my pudding, don't you love it too? Yeah, all that kind of stuff.
Negative.
It is hilarious. So, anywho, so Kristen Chenoweth, she is actually in the show, and she and Fred Armisen kind of play off of each other a lot. And basically what happens is that she's the kind of person who, you know, tries to tell you can't have certain books in the school. Like, that's kind of her character. Mm-hmm. She's just nasty, mean, just doesn't want certain things to happen, and is trying to keep, you know, Schimg-a-doon the wholesome place that it has always been. And I don't like these outsiders coming in, kind of thing. So then you have Fred Armisen, who just tries to be a voice of reason, and he's just, you know, the reverend of the area. You have Alan Cummings, who basically is the mayor, and he's bubbly and he's energetic, and he sings his song, and then Cicely is like, "Are you gay?" Like, as soon as he finishes singing his song, and he was like, "Of course I'm gay with the spirit of Schimg-a-doon," you know. And it's just like, okay. And then you have where they realize while they're there, like, at first they thought, oh, this is just some cute little town like Colonial Williamsburg, where, you know, they just do a little dance and they have these little outfits on and stuff. Like, they literally say that.
Colonial Williamsburg. Yeah. Shout out to Williamsburg.
Yeah, 45 minutes away or so.
Yeah, right.
And so anyway, so what happens is that they realize, no, this is actually some weird little town that we have found, so we got to go back over the bridge to get back to our reality. Well, they go over the bridge. They don't get back to their reality. And in the process of going over the bridge, who shows up? Martin Short as a leprechaun who sings a song.
But that just fits so well. So perfect. Yeah.
So perfect. And so he comes and says basically a song that says, once you enter the town, you can't leave until your true love is found. That's basically the rhyme of the song. And so if you're not trying to cross the bridge with your true love, you're not going to be there. So then they realize, wait, are we not each other's true loves? So then that starts a process of them trying to figure out, of the town folk,
not the townies.
I mean, that's what they.
Not the townies.
That's what it feels like. So of the town folk that are there, who is their true love? And that's really the point of the story. And so you see how both of them take different approaches to try to find out who is their true love. So it's a interesting, quirky, but cute show that just kind of goes through the path of a journey of love, a journey of self-discovery. You know, one of the funny scenarios is that, you know, as Josh's character is trying to figure out who's his true love, this young girl, I don't know. I almost think of like her like looking like a dairy maiden, you know, with the pigtails and the blonde hair and the dress.
Like a dairy maiden, but now you're talking about like turning butter.
Yeah, and she's like following him around, and oh, he's so great, and he's a doctor, and blah blah blah. Well, they go to Lookout Point or something like that. And he was like, wait, how old are you exactly? You know, I just want to make sure. And lo and behold, before you know it, it's like her father's there with a shotgun because he's the farmer in the town. And then he's like, you touch my daughter, you're going to have to marry her. And then it becomes this whole thing of he now has to get married to this girl.
This little milkmaiden.
It's so crazy. So, yeah. And so, but does that actually happen and take place? You know, there's just the Cicely character of Melissa, she actually falls for the doctor in town, but then realizes he's a complete jerk. Like when a pregnant woman comes and needs help, he's like, "You're having a baby out of wedlock. Get out of my, you know, place."
Oh, wow.
Like, and he's the only doctor in town. So then she's like, "Wait a minute, hold on, I'm a doctor too." And they're like, "You're a woman. You can't be a doctor. What are you talking?" Because it's all 1940s mentality of these people. So it was just this weird, quirky, interesting show. And so Schimg-a-doon. It's on Apple Plus.
So they should watch it?
I'm trying to remember if it was Apple Plus. I would say this. If you want something that is outside of the norm to watch, then yes, I would say watch Schimg-a-doon. Don't feel like you are obligated to listen to all those musicals. Like some of them were really
people
funny,
might like musicals.
Some people might like. I like a musical. Wicked.
Yeah, but that day that you played whatchamacallit in here for like
Hamilton.
the entire day. And I was just like, I guess I'm in the room where it happens.
You're in the room where...
Never seen Hamilton a day in my life, but I know the songs. I know the songs.
So I like a good musical, but this was like, okay, some of these just went on and on and on. Like, there was one in a schoolroom that I was like, you know what? I'm done. Like, I watched the first, 15 seconds and I was done. So I was like, okay, I'm moving on. Corn Pudding, I watched the whole thing.
Because you like corn pudding?
I know. It was just more entertaining of a scenario of the storyline, I guess. And sometimes you had to watch it for the storyline, too. To kind of know
that's what I don't like about
it wasn't
shows that are musicals.
Yeah.
Because it's like you have to watch that part of the musical to know what's going on. What else is going on in the show? I hate that.
It
I want to fast forward to
much like that, but it was a couple of them where it was like that. The corn pudding one you could have passed. What is important about corn pudding that you actually had to watch it? I just thought it was hilarious because that was the first time that Melissa, Cicely's character, was like the people were just standing in the crowd, like looking like, come on, you can sing too. And then she was just like, oh, I think they want us to sing. And he was like, I am not singing. Like, I hate musicals. I am not singing. And then she was like, so the corn pudding, da-da-da-da. And then she just started like rhyming. She was like, I don't even know where it came from.
That just sounds like the longest SNL skit ever. That's what it sounds like.
So that's why I was like, that one was entertaining where I was like, okay, I have to watch it. But a few times she sung right along with the people who were doing the musical part.
But yeah, it is on Apple TV.
It's on Apple TV. So, if you're into that kind of thing, watch it. If it sounds like this is the most horrific thing you've ever heard of in your life, please don't.
Okay.
All right.
I guess I won't be watching that. All right. So I have the TV show that everyone's talking about.
Oh.
Swarm.
Oh, I have heard people talking about it.
So Swarm is a great movie. A great TV show.
It's a TV show, not a movie.
It's a TV show. Yeah. So just to let you know, the creator, whatever, is Donald Glover. So you see a lot of stuff, kind of like the TV show Atlanta, how it happens in this, and he's a genius when it comes to that, and I'll get to that in a second. But Swarm. Just to let you know who's in the cast. So you have Dominique Fishback as Dre or Andrea Green.
Okay.
Chloe Bailey as Marissa.
Okay.
You have Noreen Brown as Nija.
Okay.
And let me see who else. That's basically the main characters. Oh, you do have Paris Jackson in here. She's playing in here. Billie Eilish. Billie Eilish killed it. What?
I could see that, though.
She killed it.
She seems like she's a artist.
Yeah,
like,
but if she's not a great actor, like a really good actress for this scene, that means that she's probably that type of person for this episode.
Either you're acting really well, or this is who you are.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
So you have Damson Idris. He's the British actor who is on Snowfall, the lead.
Oh, okay. Yeah, which I haven't watched. But
Leon's in it.
Oh,
Leon's in
everything.
He's only in it for a second. He's not in there for long. He has
to have like
that episode is weird. I'm trying to tell you, this is like Atlanta, but it's based off of loosely true stuff.
Okay.
So, but yeah, it's a lot of people in it. It's good. So, basically, it is a psycho thriller stalker TV show. Like I said, it's loosely based off of like real events.
Will I be able to sleep?
No, you'll be able to sleep. Okay. You'll be able to sleep. You'll like it. I mean, has it like a?
Because I don't like anything scary.
No, it's not scary. It's not scary.
Suspenseful?
It's not suspenseful. Okay, let me explain.
Creepy. Okay, never mind. Continue.
It's creepy. It's creepy. It is creepy. It's a you can tell when people are not mentally healthy type of thing. Yeah. So basically it's not actually said out here because they were gonna come out, and say something like, yo, I'm suing you or whatever. But it's loosely based on Beyonce and her beehive.
Really?
Yes, that's why it's called Swarm.
I did not know that.
Yeah. So
intrigued.
It's loosely, like they even have like a clip of it's one part where somebody runs up on the stage to try to go after Beyonce and Jay-Z, and that actually ends up happening in the show where the Beyonce type character is Nija.
Okay.
So so Andrea Green, who is the main character, she goes by Dre. She is that insane person who's in love with Beyonce, like that kind of thing.
Gotcha.
So she's so in love with Nija that she is now go into people that she sees that they put bad comments, and she'll go and find them. She'll like cuss them out. She'll try to ruin their life. She might try to kill them. It's it's like that. So, but I mean, it's crazy. It's I think it was 8 or 10 episodes. I can't remember exactly how many it was. Hold on, give me a second. 7 episodes. So 7 episodes, like they're hour long. It's good. So you get in a little backstory as it goes on about Andrea Green. So Dre and Marissa are like sisters.
Okay.
You come to find out later on they're foster sisters. Okay. They were foster sisters. And Dre she the only thing that she has going for her life is Nyjah. Okay. She doesn't care about anything else. Okay. It's just Nyjah.
That's it.
Yeah. Every time she meets somebody, she's like, and she plays this role so good because like she just plays it like she's a little off. She's like talking to someone, she got her head down and she like kind of like looks up like the corner of her eye, just like, what you think about Nyjah? Who's your favorite artist and all this other stuff? And if you have the wrong answer, you're gone.
Oh my
you're
gosh.
Dead. You're dead. You're dead. So that is like the crazy part of it. But the weird relationship that she has with Marissa, who's played by Chloe Bailey, the weird relationship that they have together is like, I don't understand. It's like your sister, but then it's like, but are you like trying to be like her? Because the sister is very outgoing. She has a boyfriend. Like she does all this stuff and everything. And Dre just sits home and just Googles Nyjah all day. And she has a fake page that she made that she's trying to be Nyjah or something like that. Yeah. It's
fake what is it? Fake
Finsta.
Like Finstagram. Yeah. Finsta.
So that's the thing that's crazy. But when you get the backstory about Dre, then you realize how she got crazy. It's kind of like when you watch The Joker and you get the backstory of how the Joker became the Joker. You get that backstory, but you still see that person's crazy.
Yeah.
Then they're not all there. And I mean, but it's good. It gets so deep. But Dre has a problem with killing people. But then what she does after she kills the people, is she just goes and scarfs down a whole bunch of snacks. But she still has blood and everything all over her while she's doing that.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Like it's one scene where she takes somebody's life and then she goes and grabs a pot and then starts shoving it in her mouth and she's like eating
all
it.
The blood is in
and all the blood.
too,
yeah. Oh,
she doesn't care.
Yeah, she doesn't care.
So,
but then also she has like this weird look on her face, like, did that just happen? Or if I eat this pot, and it's kind of like to how I saw it. It was like, it's like, I guess I did something wrong, but how do I erase it? By having something good to go ahead and have a good memory instead of this bad. Yeah,
and
but I need
the good. So I'm going to feed myself with something I really enjoy.
Yep, exactly. So that's how I see it with that.
Now, is her name Nyjah?
Yeah, Nyjah.
Does she know that somebody is going around doing this?
No.
Okay.
Nyjah doesn't know anything. Like, so the whole thing is just, the main part of the story is just about Dre and Marissa going to see Nyjah.
Okay.
Dre spends all her money, like all of her money,
to go to the
concert because the tickets are like $1,000-something dollars a piece. Yeah. She was like, I'm gonna surprise Marissa, to go to this concert. Some things happen with her and Marissa, and you'll have to get into that. I don't want to ruin everything.
Don't spoil it.
But yeah, it's wild.
You've got me.
But I like it though. And the actresses are so good in it. Billie Eilish just like, at first I was like, is that Billie Eilish?
Yeah.
It's like, that is. Paris Hilton, not Paris Hilton. Paris Jackson as a ratchet chick, absolutely.
You liked it?
Yes. She hit the nail on
Yeah, because we haven't seen her in that kind of role. Like an American Horror Story, they'll put her in there from time to time. And it's
but she's like
just
she's just a regular young girl.
Young person, right.
But no, she's ratchet. She's a ratchet stripper. She got like the baby hairs on the forehead and something. Yeah. She got the edge control. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But each episode gives you so much information and so much stuff that you have to like figure out. And let me tell you, okay, so when I said that Donald Glover is a genius, this is the reason why I said this. You were in like maybe the 5th, 6th episode, and there's part of it. It's like a documentary inside of the TV show. So it literally comes up, if you've seen this person, call this number.
Oh.
Yes.
So it's like a commercial.
It's kind of like a commercial, but it's like a kind of like a...
Oh, because these are the people that this girl's killed.
No, it's like they're looking for her.
Oh, they're looking for her because she's a killer.
So they're trying to make it to where, like, it's how they did it was just like, he just made it to where we're looking for this person and she's going to be here looking like this with this person, blah, blah, blah. If you have any information, call us at this number. And then what happens, the next scene is going to be Dre being that person, being this person named Tony now that she goes by. Now she's a lesbian and she got short hair and all this other stuff.
So she knows they're looking for her.
No, she doesn't know.
She doesn't know? Oh,
she's on the run. She's just trying to see Nigel.
That's it.
She's trying to go to a festival. She couldn't even go to the festival because she's with Billie Eilish and the cult that they had going on. There's a cult in there. Yeah, I don't even know. Yeah. And then like she didn't get to go for the thing with her Marissa, and then she had bought some more tickets for her and her girlfriend at the time, and then her girlfriend was like, I told you I don't like Naja, so why would you buy me tickets? And then the girlfriend took the tickets and ripped them up.
Wow. Okay.
So you can only imagine what happened next. But it is okay, I would tell you this. The ending is really weird, but it's kind of up to your interpretation how you take it, because it's I don't know, it's just your interpretation. It's like you don't know if she died and went to heaven type thing, or if it was like reality and if she's just now completely insane. So the ending is weird, but I mean, it has the Atlanta vibe.
Did you just spoil it for us?
No, I didn't spoil it.
Okay,
no,
I'm just checking.
No, I'm just saying, like, you how the ending is. It's like you don't really know what happened, so it's just like, wait, did this happen or did this happen? Well, this could have actually happened, or this could have happened. So you don't know for sure what happens at the end. It's like kind of under your own interpretation. I haven't seen anything where people talk about the ending and like how they perceived it. I did see one guy kind of perceive it a different way, but I was like, but I don't see it that way. But.
And so is it something that could potentially come back as a season 2?
No.
It's like a one and done.
Yeah, I think it's like
it's a mini series.
Yeah, it's just like a mini series. Okay. I don't think there's anywhere to go for it to make a whole nother season. They would have to make it into something else, like a Fenty type movie about Rihanna or something.
You would have to do different seasons.
You have to do different seasons of like a Mariah. Oh my God, the next one could be Mariah Carey and all the little butterflies or whatever.
Butterflies. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. So I don't know, but check it out. Swarm is on Amazon Prime. Like I said, it is only 7 episodes, so check it out. It's disturbing. You know what it is? Mm-hmm. You get repulsed but intrigued.
Repulsed but intrigued.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what it is. All right. So what do you have next, sis?
I have something that is also repulsive.
Hey.
It's Jared from Subway.
Okay,
Catching a Monster on Discovery Plus.
I was thinking about watching that, so I'm glad I didn't watch it, so I can hear if I want to watch it.
My goodness.
This is Catching a Monster?
Catching a Monster.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So most people hopefully know that Jared, who used to be in the Subway commercials, the guy who was like, 300 pounds and then ended up losing weight from eating Subway sandwiches. You know, he was on everything. He was everywhere. He was in commercials with every celebrity you could think of.
I feel like he was on one of those "Can you hear me now" commercials. Yeah. It's like, I can hear you over here at Subway. You know what I'm saying? I feel like he was on a Verizon commercial at one time.
He was with everybody, like Charles Barkley or Michael Phelps or whoever. Like he was just everywhere.
RG3.
He was in the know, and everybody knew him everywhere he went. And the story kind of starts off by just kind of explaining who he was as a person when he was younger, how he was always really heavy, like even as a kid, like in middle school and stuff like that. And got bigger. And it was just that he was just a quiet, reserved guy that just was this guy that some people would pick on in school, but he kind of kept to himself and, all of those things. So then some people from his high school actually are in this documentary, because that's what this is basically, like a documentary / reenactments of some things.
Okay, so like a dramatization.
Yeah.
What did I say before? Documentization or something like that?
Yeah, we were talking about the docu-parody of Weird Al, but this is not a parody at all. So, but what it is basically, it's 3 episodes only, and it even has so there was this journalist, and she actually said she was just having an interview with him in an event in front of some school students, right, in the middle school. And so she said she sat on the bench beside him, and all of a sudden he proceeded to say, "I really enjoy the middle school girls." And she was like, "Say what now?"
Oh, get
And he was like, I just, they're beautiful. I just really enjoy them at that age. And he just whispered it in her ear. And then she was like, am I supposed to now start my interview with him? Like, why in the world did he say this to me? Like, this is how you get the first glimpse that something is off, right? So she says, okay, I'm a journalist. I need to get to the bottom of this and figure out, was he trying to, like, did he really say what I think he did? Because he seemed like this nice guy. Like, what is going on? So she befriends him. She starts to flirt with him and talk to him more. Just about, like, you know, so who are you? What do you like? What would you want to do if we were to get together? You know, blah, blah, blah. Because all this time, he's on the press circuit. He's on the junket. He's going all over not only the United States, but the world for Subway, right?
Yeah.
And so she said she did it because she was like, you know, trying to figure out why would he say that. Oh, and he also had alluded to how middle school girls were hot. That's what he had said too.
God.
Yeah. So she was like, she knew she had to try to catch him kind of in some kind of situation, because she was like, otherwise I need to do this to save kids, you know, period.
Absolutely.
You know, so she actually started recording her conversations with him. All her conversations. So this lady is talking, and then you can hear her recordings of her conversations because she was the one who did them. So she has the rights to them to release them for this documentary. Yeah. And so she handed over, at one point, he had said something about wanting to have pictures of her own children naked.
He said it to her?
To her, because she had him believing, because she said that's the only way I can catch him. I have him believing that, oh yeah, well, I mean, it's a kink, but you know, I get what you're saying. Like, she was just trying to fake, like, she wasn't repulsed.
Just so she can get all the information.
She was writing notes feverishly. God. She was recording everything. She would finish the conversations. Her skin would be crawling. She would have to take a shower.
I don't even think I could do that, because
she was just like, it was too much. So then she finally said, okay, at that point, I got to turn these over to the FBI.
Yeah.
This guy is sick. So she gives the tapes to the FBI, and she says, you know, she's expecting for him to be arrested and stuff. And they said, well, actually, did you have his permission to record him?
It depends
because
on
if
what
you
state
didn't,
you're in, if you get
in your particular state that you were in, it's illegal for you to have recorded him. So therefore, you know, what we're going to do instead is make you an informant, and you're going to continue to talk to him.
Oh, and then it's going to be their thing, and it's not going to be, oh, we got an anonymous tip. It's like, we found out this lady and we're using her. Oh,
we're going to use her and make sure we're not going to arrest you, but you have to keep recording. She recorded him for years.
But this is the thing. How are they going to say, did you record him? That's illegal. Oh, hey, can you go back
because
and keep
now
recording
you
him?
have the legal right to record because they're telling you to do it.
Okay, well, I guess so.
You know, that's the difference. So finally, she said, you know what? I'm here. I'm recording for years. I don't know what he's doing with who.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
All over the place.
whole time.
I'm hearing all these things. He's in Thailand, and he's like,
no.
The little boys over in Thailand, they're amazing, you know, and yada, yada. So he's just doing all of this horrible, horrible stuff the whole time, and she just knows all this is happening. In the meantime, her daughter actually stumbles upon her handwritten notes and totally hates her mom, because she's like, is my mom into this stuff? Like, why is my mom writing down all this perverted stuff?
Yeah, I get that. Okay.
I don't understand what is going on with my mom and what's happening with her. So her daughter was just repulsed now by her and was like, what in the world is going on? So she tried to explain, this is what I'm doing and this is what I now have to do, and I'm an informant for the FBI. You know, she's like trying to explain things as best she can, and I'm sure probably with only the things that she can share. And so long story short, you know, she just got to the point that she was like, this information that I'm hearing from him is so horrific. I'm trying to fake like everything's okay. He's wanting to meet with me because it's been so long. One time she did meet him in his hotel and then made an excuse that one of her kids was sick so that she could get away from him, because she was just like, I just can't even have this guy touch me, you know, kind of scenario. And so she said it was pictures, videos, all this stuff that he was asking for. The FBI still didn't take it seriously or say that he could do it or that they could arrest him. And so finally she just said, you know what? Enough is enough. I'm going to go to the press and I'm just going to tell everybody I've got my rights to do this. So she got an attorney who then told her, no, you can't do that. But what we can do is tell the FBI, look, y'all need to take some action pretty soon or else. Like, like, we need to let y'all know that what is it? He has to have committed something across state lines or whatever.
Yeah.
So then they tried to have her throw her child a birthday party, and she had to tell him, oh yeah, there'll be so many young kids there. Like, you should really come down
This
to
is
Florida.
horrible.
It is horrific. And so basically,
this is horrible.
he was supposed to come across state lines. He didn't. Things started happening. His business partner with his whole foundation that did things and got him even in front of more children. Crazy. But his partner was the one who got caught first because he had child porn on his computer.
Oh, okay.
And so because of that, he ended up going down. And there were times in which, because he was communicating with Jared, and they were swapping things back and forth about different pictures or videos or whatever, that's when they said, okay, now we can use this as the open door to get to him. After all that she did, this woman was in a wheelchair. She was sick. Her whole body just basically fell apart from the pain and turmoil and stress and relationships with her kids. And they didn't even interview her daughter. I don't even know. I think she said her and her daughter are trying to mend their relationship. But for her son, he was just like, I didn't have any clue my mom was doing all of this. Yeah. And then when I found out, I just felt like, I mean, she was doing everything she could. Like, he was like, she was doing the best she could, and she was doing everything she could to try to save these kids.
But she used the kids as bait, though.
Well, she had to, because the FBI said you got to get him down.
That don't mean that it's right.
No, I'm not saying it's right. But it was like, but the thing is that when she did that, it was to get him to cross state lines to come see the kids. Oh, okay. Because the FBI said now you got the trafficking and blah, 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 you know, like all these kind of things that can go into it.
Because you cross state lines to come see children.
Exactly. So they couldn't prove anything previously, which I was like, as much as he was traveling for Subway, you probably could have picked that up at any state that line is cross, but this was with the intention and being on video. Recorded, saying, "Yes, I'm going to come down there for this purpose." You know. True. And so based on that, something came up where his schedule changed, and that made it so he didn't actually cross the state lines and go to Florida. So she was like, this was my one chance to get out. And then, so anyway, because his friend got caught, that's how Jared got caught. And basically, of course, you know, the story goes that everything at that point just all went... Like, he was persona non grata. Like, you know, nobody wanted to touch Jared with the 10-foot pole, of course. Oh, okay. And all of his dirty secrets basically came out. And that is high level. I mean, I'm only touching the surface.
Yeah, but that's just,
you know, but that just explains what in these 3 episodes, hour-long episodes, were the things that were going on. So, again, can I recommend it? Not if you, I mean, it was dark.
Yeah, but it was triggering.
Yeah, it was triggering and it was dark. I couldn't watch it all back to back to back because it was just way too much. Like, it was like, I can't believe people are this sick. And then to be somebody who could be perceived as being just this nice, quiet, sweet guy. Exactly. And then the things he would say, you were like, what in the, like, how twisted are you? You know what I mean? Like, that's true. It was really insane. And so, long story short, I can't say that I recommend it, but I would say that if you want to know more about that story, because like for me, I was just curious because I was like,
because I was curious too, because I was like, something happened, but I couldn't remember what happened.
Exactly. I knew it was all about child stuff.
See, I didn't know, I couldn't remember that. I was like, what is it that Jared did? I was like, is it drug trafficking or something like that? I wasn't thinking about
I knew it was about children and stuff like that, but I didn't know it was to this degree. But I was just curious about, well, what happened? Because again, I'm just thinking, he seemed like a nice guy, but then he just did some weird stuff, and I was just thinking it was like porn probably on his computer. That's probably all I thought back then when he got arrested.
But you didn't know it was
I had no idea that this was years and years and years and intentionally traveling around into countries and intentionally wanting to talk to kids and be around kids and have foundations and all this stuff because of you being a perverted person. So they didn't talk to any people who, you know, were impacted by him on a personal level that I saw other than this lady, but just looking at how she just deteriorated over time just from the stress and the turmoil of it. I just felt...
That poor lady.
Yeah. Definitely. I mean, and it was a situation where she was just trying to do what she thought was right and then got almost abused by the
yeah,
FBI
by
to
FBI,
say,
yeah.
now you got to keep doing
Yeah.
it. When she was like, I've had enough. I have to take
here's
this.
the information. Take it. Oh, no. You can't do that because you recorded.
Yeah.
But now we're telling you can.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
and
now
you just
you've done something illegal. So nope. Sorry. So yeah, it was a tough watch, but it was definitely informative. So if it's something that you want to watch, it is on Discovery Plus. And it was called Jared from Subway Catching a Monster.
All right.
All right, sis, back to you.
Okay, so the one that I want to talk about is on Apple TV.
Okay.
And it is a movie called Sharper.
Oh, I did see that on Apple TV too.
This movie is good.
Okay, I was thinking about watching
This is a must-see.
Oh,
all right. So, yeah. I mean, just the way that it is, it's not just like a regular movie. It's kind of how they based it and put it together is kind of cool. So you have Julianne Moore, who's playing Madeline. You have Sebastian Stan, who's playing Max. Justice Smith playing Tom. Brianna Middleton playing Sandra. John Lithgow, who is playing Richard. Okay. And then Darren Goldstein, who plays Pat Broderick. Okay. So, this is it's crazy how they put this together. It's so much deception. It's theft. It's like all these love triangles. It's drama. It's so much. Like, I don't want to say too much because it's going to give away the whole movie.
Yeah.
But it's good. Okay. So you have a woman named Madeline and her husband, who is Richard. So you got Julianne Moore and John Lithgow. And they're happily married. And then drama starts to set in. They're rich. They're super rich. Drama starts to set in. So there is a con artist that is trying to get all of their money from them.
Oh, okay.
It's like, yo, we have like a great mark. We're trying to get like millions. We can get millions of dollars. Like, forget this petty stuff. Like $1,000, nothing. We're getting like a bunch of money. So, now Richard has a son. Richard's son is played by Justice Smith, so he's mixed.
Okay.
All right. And and he him and Richard, like, their relationship is like, it's like an estranged father-son relationship. Like, there's one part in, like, John Lithgow gets off at the elevator and he's like, what are you doing here? He was like, okay, Dad, good to see you too. And he walks away and leaves.
Yeah.
Like, that's basically how it is. Now, with their relationship being so estranged and everything, and they don't talk to each other, that makes them the perfect mark, because now you have people who are going to them to try to sabotage them to get their money.
Okay.
And because it's all the money from the father, and the son gets the money just because, you know, the father's trying to make the son happy by just being like, look, you're going to take over this business. You don't want to take over the business. What do you want to do? You want a library? Boom. Here's a library. Paid for. You already got it. It's just going to be guzzling away money, but I don't care. It's like, just do what you have to do. So since that they're a perfect mark, like, that just changes the dynamic. Now, each quarter, like, not quarter, but each part of the movie is a person's name. So one is Sandra, one's Madeline, one's Max. So it's everybody, each person in the movie has their own little chapter
in the movie. Gotcha.
Yeah. Okay. So now Sandra and Max, all right, so their relationship is weird. Okay, Sandra is a younger lady and Max is a younger man. So their relationship is weird, and they're the ones that are the con artists.
Okay.
But the thing is that makes their relationship weird is that Max is in love with another woman. And with him being in love with the other woman, he's like showing Sandra the ropes, but then also like sleeping with her, but then he's like in love with this other woman, and it's just so much back and forth. And I mean, you don't see it from the beginning to the end. It gives you different chapters. Okay. So it's different points of view of how everything went down. So it's never in chronological order.
Gotcha.
But you get all the information by the end. Yeah.
Okay.
So like the movie starts off with the ending basically, or close to the ending, like the second to the end part.
Okay.
And then it goes back. It goes forwards, and then it goes back to the very end.
Okay. And is it a situation where, like, it was one show that I watched where do they reenact the same scenes a couple of times?
No, they don't reenact the same scenes. It's just you're just getting the background of these people.
Gotcha.
And like what happened to make this this con happen.
Okay, gotcha. I just didn't know if you would see different people's perspectives.
No, it's no different people's perspectives or anything.
Okay. Nope, makes sense.
But you know who was in this? Who? Samara Joy.
Yeah,
so I'm watching it, and then I hear somebody singing. I'm like, "Only you," and I was like, "Oh, is that Samara Joy?"
She has such a unique voice.
Yeah,
too.
so she actually is singing on part of the show, which is kind of cool. That's she made her debut in the movie scene. I guess that's her debut. But yeah, she's singing at some event in the movie, which is kind of awesome. So that's a plus. But the movie, I mean, I really don't want to say anything about it because I'm gonna give it away, and then because it's so many different chapters, I might say something about one chapter, and then it's going to ruin it for chapter 3.
It was like Kaleidoscope, trying to talk about that, and you're like, how do I talk about it? Because I don't know what color you're on.
Yeah, exactly. So it is good. I like it. Yeah. I love Julianne Moore as an actress. She's a really good actress.
She's amazing.
And Justice Smith, he's a good actor too. So I do like him a lot. But I would say watch it. It's I mean, it's not that long. It's like maybe an hour and a half. Okay. And like I said, it's called Sharper. It's on Apple TV. It's a must watch.
Must watch. Must see TV.
All right, what else you got?
All right. So I have Truth Be Told. Also on Apple TV.
I haven't started that yet.
So it has Octavia Spencer as the main character, Poppy Purnell. You have her husband on the show, which is Michael Beach. You might know him from Soul Food. He was the husband that slept with the cousin.
Oh, yeah.
That dude.
No.
Yeah. And then you have Ron Cephas Jones. Love him as an actor.
Okay.
He's the one from This Is Us. He played the main character's father.
Yeah. Okay.
He played, I can't think of what's the guy's name. Sterling's
Sterling's father.
Yep.
Yeah.
Kate Hudson is in a season of this as well. It's actually 3 seasons in, believe it or not. So, for anybody who didn't know about this show, I didn't know about this show until the 3rd season.
Yeah, I didn't know about it.
I think you were the one who was like, "Hey,
did you see?" Yeah, because we were talking about Roar. Remember? Yeah,
right,
it was like, man, Apple TV got some sleepers.
Good shows.
Yeah, they got some.
You have Ron Paul, who is in it. He is in the 1st season, and he is Jesse Pinkman from Breaking Bad. So everybody might know him. Mekhi Phifer.
Yeah, Mekhi
from
Phifer
back in the day. And you have her sisters are played by Hanifa Wood. And I'm talking about Poppy's sisters.
Yeah.
And then you have Tracy Toms, which I knew her from when...
She's also on 911. She's
on 911.
Yeah,
okay.
She's on 911. The one that has Angela Bassett on it. She's
awesome.
on that.
Yeah, and she actually has been on Broadway. I think she was in Rent.
Yeah, she was in Rent.
So that's kind of to give you some perspective. But those are kind of most of the main characters for the most part. So the way this story goes is that again, it's on Apple TV, and it's the story of Poppy Purnell, and she is Octavia Spencer's character, of course, and she's a journalist / podcaster. And so she mainly covers true crimes.
Okay.
And so the way that it works is that, she has her story, and it's called Reconsidered is the name of her podcast. She wants you to reconsider the different parts of the situation of what's going on for the true crime. So she begins to investigate a story of a husband and a father who was killed. And they're trying to figure out who did it, right? And because the police just seemed to want to pin it on a particular suspect, but it wasn't really proven that he was actually the one to commit the murder. And so Poppy was covering the story as the story was unfolding, and something in her podcast led people to believe also that it was this boy. So she feels responsible for him kind of going to prison. So therefore, she's like, you know what? I just need to research this more and reconsider myself, whether or not he actually did it, and see if there's a way maybe that I can help him. So the young man is actually Aaron Paul's character. So that's the one who is playing the adult version of this young guy. The young guy was dating one of the daughters. And so they had somebody who said, I'm an eyewitness who saw him jumping out of a window of that house the night that the father died. So therefore he had to have been the one that do it. And so that's kind of the storyline of the 1st season. Interestingly enough, the young boy or the guy who plays the young Aaron Paul is actually the son off of Your Honor, for anybody who watches Your Honor.
I
That's
did see that.
Yeah.
He was also on Wednesday. He played in Wednesday.
Yes. He played in Wednesday also. And so he actually, as he gets to prison, because they're saying he's the one who did it, whether he did it or not, he actually becomes a neo-Nazi just to keep himself safe in prison. So he's this nice, quiet, sweet guy who then goes to prison, maybe falsely accused, maybe not, and then, joins the neo-Nazi groups and, is just trying to do whatever he can do to make sure that he is safe while he's in jail. So Poppy doesn't feel as though he committed the crime now. So when she gets a story, she's like a dog with a bone. Like, she does not let it go.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't matter what's going on. It doesn't matter that she's supposed to be throwing her husband's firm a party that night.
Oh.
She's just like, babe, I gotta go. I gotta do what I gotta do. And he's like, well, what's
happening for the party? Yeah.
What's going on? Now he's got to scramble, figure things out. Do I cancel? Do I do it? And she constantly does things like that. So she is like, as I've said before, an antagonist and a protagonist. You're kind of rooting for her to make sure she gets to the truth, but at the same time, you're like, you're such a jerk.
Yeah.
Like, what is wrong with you? Like, yeah, I understand that you're very passionate about what you do in the story, but don't just disregard.
Don't think about everybody else in your life. Yeah,
exactly. And so, she actually has blinders on basically when things like that happen. And the other thing that's interesting is that she also will just say things like, oh, I just heard this. I think this is the truth. Let me put it on the podcast.
Oh, Lord.
And it's like,
but you don't even know if it's true.
You don't know if it's
not
true.
Fake news.
So she's like, well, it appears as though the father did such and such and such, and the wife had an affair with such and such. So is she the one who actually committed this murder? And she's just putting all that stuff out there. And
but that's how true crime podcasts are, though.
I guess I don't really listen to too many
because I feel like they just give you information.
Yeah, that's very true. But no, I mean, you're right. I think they're just giving you the
information that's out there, but they have to make it seem that way just because they're trying to throw you off. But she doesn't even know what's exactly happened, so that's the only difference.
And some true crime podcasts are based on things that already have happened and it's gotten some closure. Yeah, this is like while it's going on, and she says things. And so she actually said something about one person to the point they broke into her house. Were like, I did not do what you've been telling everybody, and people are coming up, people are treating me like I am a criminal and I didn't do this. And she's just like, okay, all right, I mean, it's all good. And then some crazy dramatic stuff takes place.
I was about to say, it's not okay, all right,
but she's thrown her father under the bus, her sisters under, she's just, I'm after the story. I have to follow this. I am a journalist, and you're just like, okay, chick, whatever. So it does make it a little frustrating to watch because you're just looking at her and you're like, chick, how is your marriage going to survive all of these times that you just keep blowing him off for the story, So then her ex-boyfriend shows up, and that's Mekhi Phifer, and he is somebody who still kind of has feelings for her, but it's a great role for him because he's like a security, surveillance, PI type guy, and that's perfect for her because of the fact that, she's trying to investigate things, and he used to be a cop, so he has connections and can get information and all of that, and she calls herself working with the police because... Well, I mean, some of them do actually, in some of the seasons, they do actually start... okay, you are able to ask certain questions that I'm not able to ask as a police officer, but because you're a journalist, you go down this path, and I'll go down that path, kind of thing. So she does on occasion also work with the police officers and stuff. And then, his wife is played by the lady who was on Greenleaf. Marley Dandridge, I think is her name.
Greenleaf.
Yeah. But, Greenleaf, yeah. So she also was in the Last of Us. She was the one who was the head of the Fireflies, I think was what they were called. But anyway, so that is who plays his wife. And so, long story short, the story is all about her using her connections, figuring out what's going on, and trying to decide what she can do to potentially do the right thing for whoever is potentially falsely accused. And so with, the Aaron Paul character, that kind of came to interesting conclusion in regards to that. The next season was about Kate Hudson and Kate Hudson's husband getting killed.
Oh, okay.
Kate Hudson was her high school, well, not even high school, her childhood best friend, like a really close friend of hers, which was that Kate Hudson always came around their family because it was like, y'all's family is all so close. Y'all are so whatever. I'm just living like with my mom or living on the street or whatever, you know. And so she just felt like that was her like Poppy's father was her father, you know, that kind of thing. And so she was doing TED Talks, and she's like a Gwyneth Paltrow type character who has, like a goop, but she's like got this, well, we are very zen, and we do this, we do that, and we're, you know, we believe that da-da-da-da-da, you know, it's very, you know, out there, some of the philosophies, even to the point that people were just sitting like, you know, that she invited from Poppy's side, and they're like, what we doing now? Like, we supposed to close our eyes and do what? So it's just all that kind of stuff. But so Kate Hudson's in the second season about her husband. Did she do it? Did somebody else do it? What's going on? Why is he with a man? Who was this man? Like, it's just a whole bunch of craziness with that second season. And then the third season has Gabrielle Union. Okay. And so the third season, Gabrielle is a principal, assistant principal at a school, I think. And so basically it's about Black girls going missing, girls of color going missing in general, and how they don't get the same story as in this situation, Emily, who went missing, and Emily's blonde, and she gets all of this fanfare and all of this stuff. But then when you have 14 Black girls who went missing or brown girls who went missing, nobody was looking for them. So Poppy is taking that on as being her dog with the bone issue. And it's just like, even if I have to bend the rules, even if I have to do this, even though my husband's gone, like, I'm just going to go ahead. Because I mean, by then you know her husband's gone.
Absolutely.
So that's the kind of thing that she's doing, is just tracking down some of these girls and figuring out what's going on and the horrible things that people with money do.
Oh, I believe that. Absolutely.
And trafficking and all of that. And how Gabrielle Union plays into all of that is pretty interesting as well. So anyway, I think it's binge worthy.
I about to say, I would definitely watch that. I wanted to watch it, but now I know exactly what it's about. So
I have really enjoyed watching it. You kind of have to get past them building up who the characters are and understanding that. Like her father, for example, he is a biker guy, right? So he is, and his family owns a biker bar. And so it's always the capstones and everybody's at the biker bar and stuff. And he has Tammy Roman. That's his wife.
Okay. Oh, so, Tammy.
Yeah, so she's like 20 years younger than him.
Of course.
And everybody's like, is she with him for the right reasons? Is she really my stepmama? You know, like all that kind of stuff. But at the same time, it's like, you know, they really respect her for being with their father, especially as his health declines or something like that. So, it's got some really good key moments. I personally binge watched, I feel like the first day, probably 6 episodes. Like it's an easy watch too. And even though some of the scenarios are dark, it ain't Jared dark. So anyway, but that's what I had.
Yeah, it's only 28 episodes.
Yeah, so true.
And that was like an hour long?
Yeah,
they're like 40-something minutes long.
Yeah, 40-something minutes long. I would say Truth Be Told on Apple TV.
Okay.
So what you got as your last one, sis?
All right, so my last one is Daisy Jones and the Six.
Never heard of it.
This is actually on Amazon Prime. It's another Prime one. Prime be putting out some bangers. Okay?
Yeah.
So this one, somehow, some way, Reese Witherspoon had something to do with this. But I can't remember exactly.
Yes, usually books or something.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, from her. So she helped get this movie done because this is actually based on a New York Times best-selling novel.
Okay.
All right. So let me give you some of the people. So you have Riley Keough, who is Daisy Jones.
Okay.
You have Sam Claflin, who is Billy Dunn. Camilla Moreau is Camilla Dunn. You have Sookie Waterhouse, who is Karen. Tom Wright, who is Teddy Price. And Timothy Oliphant as Rob Reyes. You also have... was it Nabia? Yeah, Nabia B as Simone Jackson. Now, so this is it's good. I like it.
Okay,
it made me watch it. I fast forward through some songs because it's about music, so we'll get into that. All right, so basically the novel. So it follows around because it's based on a novel. So it follows around some young singers in the 70s trying to get their stardom. Basically.
Okay.
All right, but it's all fictional, but it kind of gives me a Stars Born vibes, but like a TV show of the Stars Born with what's his name, Bradley Cooper.
Yeah,
so it kind of gives me that
Lady
kind of vibe. Yeah, so it's sex, drug, alcoholism. That is the cocktail for this show.
Okay, gotcha.
That's definitely what it is. All right, so Billy and his brother friends, they have a band, right?
Okay.
So this is how they started garage band. Then they started playing at different things, and then they were at some kind of competition or some like open thing, and somebody heard them who was actually Rob Reyes, who was played by Timothy Oliphant. And Rob is telling them, yeah, I can get you with Teddy Price, and Teddy Price is like he's an A&R and also a producer. So he was like, yeah, you need to get with somebody like him. Like I've worked with him before, blah, 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 blah. Okay. So, and then from there, these young kids take their money, stack it up, get a van, and now they are going to go to Rob Reyes' house.
It sounds like Almost Famous. Did you ever watch
I did watch Almost Famous. Yeah, it's similar to that. But Almost Famous, she was like, she was
the groupie, but I'm saying the guys who were
the guys,
part of the group,
exactly.
And then you had that little young guy that was just hanging with them. So
with Billy and his brother doing all that, now they're now starting to, they have a good sound. They're starting to like get into music, so that's good. Now with Daisy is such a free-spirited young woman. Everything is like very peace and love. It's the 70s, peace and love and things like that. So, but she has a great voice. But she goes through so much trying to get her stardom. So, like, somebody has stolen her songs. Like, somebody who was actually a singer that she was, like, kind of, like, I guess, sleeping with or whatever. He was looking at her little notebook and saw one of her songs and was singing. She was like, that's not how it goes. And he was like, show me. She sings a song. Now it's his hit record.
Oh, my gosh.
Yes.
Yeah.
So then from there she has like perverted producers who who want stuff. She has like she just has hard times being a woman and trying to get into the industry. So with Teddy Price, with him being the AR and the music producer, he has these two people. He has these two groups. He has the group and then he has the girl. So he's just like, all right, so the band, which is at the time I think it was Billy Dunn and the Dunn Brothers or something like that was the name of the band.
Okay.
So he take the band. And then they have the girls, so he was like, hey, what do you think about these lyrics? And then they're just like, oh, it's all right. And then it was like, all right, what do you think about these lyrics? And they change up the lyrics. So they're like changing up the lyrics to each other's songs, basically. But neither one of them know because they've never met before. Then what does Teddy Price do? He has an epiphany where he says, I'm going to get these two people together. So this one song that this band thought that they were going to have as their like top song because like it's so feel good song. Yeah. No, I'm going to actually make it a duet. And Daisy's going to help sing it. And actually Daisy has changed some of the lyrics. So we're going to go with this.
Interesting.
Billy hates that. Billy is just like, that this is like my band.
Right.
This is me. This is ours. Yeah. I don't know who she is. I don't like her. She changed my music. Let's not do this, blah, blah, blah. So then finally it's like, all right, cool. We'll do the song. And then once they did the song, then he hears that it's changed. And then he's like, all right, it's a decent song. Okay. Yeah, but he doesn't show it, He's like, oh, okay, that's cool. So then basically from there, they just go out and now they have this #1 record. Okay. Now they're playing all these different festivals. They're going to all these different places. And within this, they're writing music together. So you have Daisy and Billy writing music together. And with that just causes a lot of stress. Yeah. They have like sexual tension, but then they also don't like each other. So that's toxic. Yeah. And that makes the best music. Apparently. Toxicity makes the best music. So that's like how all of that ended up happening. Now, Daisy does have a friend, Simone Jackson, who is like a lady who I guess she's met before and she knows her and stuff like that. Okay. And she's actually a background singer in the industry. She's a young black lady. She's a background singer in the industry. So, and then you go and get some of Simone's like background story. Yeah. So with her background story, she had basically the same thing. She had this producer was like, hey, the song sounds good. Come on, you want to have a seat? And then grabs her and sits her on his lap. Yeah. Stuff like that. And then, songs being stolen from her and things like that. So she's had a lot going on with her as well. But then she becomes the female Sylvester.
What?
Google it if you don't know who Sylvester is. But anyway, so now she is playing She's actually like, so she goes to this club and she has this woman that she's attracted to, right? Yeah. She has this woman that she finds attractive, and then the woman's like, hey, if you're ever around like this area, come and see me. So she goes and sees the girl, and she was like, and the girl's like, hey, I'm the DJ, let me show you this. And she puts on Simone's record, and the whole club goes ballistic. Oh, wow. And she's just like, oh my God, like this is me. She was like, and the DJ was like, yeah, you want to sing? Give her the microphone. She sings the song like 5-6 times. Oh my God. Because they were just like, they just kept wanting her to sing it over and over again. Awesome. So that's cool how that ended up working out for her. But then also, her and Daisy, like Daisy is very dependent on her. So it's so Simone kind of feels like she's like, she's chasing her around, because Daisy's childhood was not good. Her and her mother, it was horrible. Like Daisy was like young, trying to sing with headphones on while her parents are having a party, like a cocktail party, and people hear the singing, and they're like giggling, but they're giggling like, oh, that's cute. Yeah. But the mother is seeing it like they're laughing at my child. Not laughing at my child, but they're laughing at me because my child is singing. So she goes in there and tells her like, stop. But she's like in her face telling her like how she's horrible and like, it was just so bad. But then that's just basically starts the whole spiral that she has with her alcoholism, drugs, and everything else. She's a runner. She's a track star. But so she's a runner. So anytime something bad happens, her depression is, I'm going to run away. Okay, gotcha. So and that's literally what she does. She runs away. She ends up like in a whole nother country. Oh wow. Yeah, she ends up like Italy or something like that. I can't remember for sure. Place to run to. Yeah, that's very true. But like I said, the Daisy Jones and the Billy Dunn, them two together, they're very electric. Like you can feel the stuff, but the thing is that Billy is married. Okay. And with Billy being married, Billy also, he doesn't do drugs, but he also had a problem with alcoholism. Oh, okay. So he's already been to rehab and everything, and Teddy Price paid for his rehab. Oh, okay. So he's already been to rehab and everything. So, it's just every time he's around Daisy, and the one time that he's just like, I could go ahead and like probably sleep with Daisy, he looks into her apartment and sees alcohol everywhere. He's just like, nope. Yeah, it's not a good idea. And he was just, and they kind of make it kind of like a documentary where it's like, they are sitting down with their older selves. Yeah. And then they're talking. It was like, and he says, I just looked in the room. He said, I saw nothing but temptation. So it's like, that's like basically like how it's all set up. But the show is good. At first I didn't really want to watch it. I was like, oh, it's music, and I didn't want to hear the music. But I fast forward through a couple of the songs, but then one of the songs got catchy for me. See, there you go. So then I listened to it, but then the song, Your Corn Pudding. No, because they played the song. I swear it was like every 3 seconds they played the song because they were on tour. Yeah, so they had to keep playing it over and over. Yeah, so that is the thing that's like it was too much. But yes, it is Daisy Jones and the Six, which is on Prime, and it's 10 episodes, and I think they're like an hour long. So definitely check that out. Okay, sounds great. Well, that is it for this week's Sestra-Tainment. Oh, hey, shout out to Mike, shout out to Jazz, shout out to Sadiqa. Love y'all. Oh, that's so sweet. My supporters. My supporters. Yeah. All right. Well, everyone have an amazing week, and we'll see you next week. Bye. Bye.